So, fundamental principle number one, every film is different and should be treated as such. So, which is one of the reasons why overall deals don't really work with what I'm going to talk about in the next couple of days, is because in general, overall deals tend to treat films similarly, as every film being the same. So each film requires its own distribution marketing plan that suits the needs of the particular film. And generally what split rights does is it gives you the flexibility to create that unique distribution and marketing plan. So to create your path, these are the four things, and this is what we're going to spend the first hour discussing, is these four attributes that you have to consider when creating your distribution and marketing plan. And this is kind of getting into the, what I guess I would call the TOTBO system, which I write about in the book. So the first is your goals, the second is looking at your film, the third is your audience, and the fourth is your resources. And all of these things need to be taken into consideration when creating your distribution and marketing plan. So the first thing is, what are your goals? And what do you want and what do you need from your film? So I'm just going to ask you guys, okay, so I'm just going to put that down under what I call career launch, or make another film. Right? You're making the film so that you can make more films, essentially. So that's the primary goal. What else?
Want to get your money back and maybe a profit?
Yeah. I don't know why I put this one second and that one first. I normally favor it. Maybe I'm favoring money more these days than career launch. So essentially this is fortune and fame. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, what else? Now, most of you are probably going, fuck, that's all I need. So, I don't want anything else, Okay, what else? There are a couple more that are pretty standard. Want people to watch it, right? Audience. And you'd think that this means this, but not necessarily, especially these days. And then, so there's a fourth one. Yeah, so a message, I usually say, change the world. And many filmmakers, you laugh, but if you talk to the people at Age of Stupid, they're all about changing the world. They're all about changing, dealing with the climate crisis right now and having an impact and making a statement. And that's all they care about. So, it is, whenever you have a message, you're essentially trying to change people's minds. You're trying to change the world in some way. All right, so that's what these are. And this is the old school approach. Pretty much the old school approach handled all of these. So like, for instance, The Thin Blue Line by Errol Morris. You guys are familiar with that. That certainly launched his career, right? It made a ton of money. It had a huge audience. And it changed the world. It got the guy out of jail, number one, got him off death row. And it actually had a significant impact on what people thought about the death penalty in the United States at that time. It really did change a lot of people's minds, and I think it even had an impact on legislation during that period of time. So that was like, a grand slam. Okay, so what split rights gives you is a fifth goal that you can go after, which is a long-term audience development, or a relationship with your audience that's long-term and potentially, I say potentially, sustainable. Okay? This is not possible with an overall deal. And frankly, distributors generally don't create a direct relationship with an audience. They're in the world of mass. With a split right scenario, when you distribute your film, and if you sell your tickets on Eventbrite, for instance, to your screenings, or through a fulfillment company like Topspin, you keep all that audience data. If you sell DVDs or merchandise through your own website, you keep that audience data. Whenever it goes to a distributor, you don't have access to that audience data. Now, at some point, you have to find a balance, because at some point, yes, you may want to sell some products on Amazon, and Amazon's not going to give you that customer data, and you have to realize you're probably going to reach a broader audience that way, and you have to say, well, I'm going to reach some people who buy the book or buy the DVD on my website, and other people I'm not. But at least you're making that first effort towards. And it's not just through sales, it's also through all the outreach in social media outreach, all the other kinds of outreach that you're doing, that you engage your audience. And that really just isn't possible through the old system. And that's why this new split right system allows this to happen. And we're going to talk about that throughout the rest of the day as well.